Hello, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Last time we had nice time at the birthday party, and I think that's it. We met Lily's sister, Akira, who enables underage drinking, and we made up with Hanako. I guess she was mad at us, but she wasn't. I didn't feel like she should have been. And yeah. And somebody was knocking on our door. The hammering of a fist against the door feels like a nail being pounded into my head. Once, twice, 3 times, I let out a long, annoyed breath and bear it while pressing my eyelids shut, fervently hoping for whoever it is to just go away. I feel pretty damn awful. My face feels like it's cast out of lead, my arms feel heavy, and I feel very queasy. It's been like this since I woke up half an hour ago, and I can't summon the energy to pick myself up out of bed. Oh, we drank alcohol, by the way, but we got a hangover. That's what I think. So, this is what they call a hangover. Ah, yes. I wonder if perhaps this is the best treatment for teenagers who desperately want to try drinking as a way to feel like an adult. Considering how unpleasant this is, it's not something I want to repeat. Pop, 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 pop. A series of thumps ring out again, reverberating around the small room. I wish they'd just give up already. I have no intentions of getting out of bed for them. Unless it's Hanako. Or Lily. Or maybe Akira. Seconds pass, turning to minutes. Since no more knocks are coming from the door, whoever it is must have left. Thank goodness. They just walked in. Looking at my clock, the time when I really should think about getting dressed and ready for class is approaching. I don't think I can manage it though. I hate cutting class, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get much done at this rate. I can tell I look like a mess without needing to look in the mirror to confirm it too. The morning rush is giving me enough time to stand outside the classroom for a little while without looking too suspicious. I hope that Muto doesn't ask any awkward questions about my not attending school yesterday. Oh, we just skipped to the next day. I was sick. That much is true. It's just the reasons for it that I have to hide. Confident I can get by with a tactile omission of certain truths, I stride into the classroom, doing my best to appear normal. The instant I open the door and take a single step in, I can feel a dozen eyes looking at me. There's no way I'm imagining this. They're not even making any attempt to hide it. Oh, it's a peeper. My eyes take a quick sweep around the classroom and I spot Hanako. I make eye contact momentarily before she looks down and stares very hard at her desk. Did she spill the beans? Muto may be okay as far as teachers go, but underage drinking on campus is not exactly something that would be taken lightly. I look to him with some trepidation. Feeling better today? Yeah, thank you. He motions for me to take a seat, my legs feeling like sticks as they carry me there. This is going to be a long day. As soon as the lunch bell rings, I'm on my way to Hanako's desk to ask her what's going on. Hanako, did you tell? She looks up at me and shakes her head. That's a big relief. It's just...
Well, hello there, Hee-chan. It's nice to see you again today.
Oh! I grimace and turn towards the unmistakable voice coming from behind me that was way too upbeat a tone of voice to feel comfortable, even for Misha. Misha's happy smile is nothing out of the usual. Shizune's, though, is a very bad sign. The one she wears has become notched in my brain as her I have got you 7 ways from Sunday smile. Okay. Hi Shizune, Misha. You look happy to see me.
Mer. Not feeling well yesterday, Hee-chan?
No, I wasn't. But I'm feeling better now at least.
That's good to know, Hee-chan.
Why do I get the feeling that Shizune is leading me into a trap? You sound like you're not being completely serious.
Meow. Oh no, He-chan. We're genuinely pleased that you're all better now. Meow.
Shizune is positively overflowing with happiness. There's only one reason why she would be like this. Oh no.
In fact, we were quite worried about you. After all, you, Hanako, and Lily were all absent from class on the same day.
Yep, she's got us. So thoroughly that all I can do is sigh in defeat. I guess you have your own theories about this. Could you just kinda not tell anyone?
It's a bit late for that, He-chan.
Sorry. I suppose she's right. Considering the looks I got as I entered class, still, things only seem to be at the level of vague suspicion rather than outright accusations, so we'll probably be fine. Hanako's face sinks a little further. Such attention is troublesome enough for me, let alone for her. Going by Shizune and Misha's reactions, I think they noticed this as well.
Mer? The only reason why we're giving you such a hard time is that you ignored us yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning? It takes a while to recollect what happened then, given the haze induced by the generally awful state I was in at the time. Oh right, the knocking. That was you two?
Mer. It was, and you left us there for ages after we'd taken all the effort of coming to your dormitory early in the morning.
Sorry, I was having a problem with nausea. They're not buying it. I can't blame them. Shizune's head drops in resignation before she reaches into her pocket. Something white and yellow can be seen sticking out a little as she pulls it out, and it turns out to be an envelope with a very bright decoration on it. Is that the one from Iwanako? That from the other playthrough? Since she points it toward me, I duly take it.
This is what we were trying so hard to give you, He-chan. You don't check your...
I tune out the sound of Misha's voice as my eyes register what's written on the envelope. Iwanako. I stare at the envelope for a moment, before suddenly remembering that there are people around me. There's a very strange, somewhat invasive feeling about their expressions. I kind of want to be alone right now.
Iwanako?
It's nothing. Thank you for bringing me this, you two.
I should think so. After what we went through to get it to you.
I step back and say my goodbyes. Misha theatrically pouts even as I go out the door, but Shizune and Hanako remain very visibly curious about my reaction. I hope they won't interrogate me on this later. The smell of the gardens is, as always, a very pleasant sensation. Some of the most visible signs of how well funded this school is, aside from its sheer size, are the expanse and condition of the grounds. A good number of students can be seen eating lunch, chatting, and playing on the bright green lawns. Even some of the staff is enjoying the summer here, keeping watch over the students and idly walking along the long concrete paths. I've never seen a sight like this in my home city. On excursions maybe, but certainly never in the school or anywhere near where I lived. Even the bench I sit on to read is warmer thanks to the summertime sun, reminding me of why I haven't worn the school blazer even once yet. Considering this, the sunflowers and splashes of vibrant yellow coloring adorning the paper are quite appropriate for the time, if only the words written on it were as well. Here I was thinking I'd managed to get over her when this troublesome thing shows up. Her handwriting looks vaguely familiar at best, and only now that I see it again I remember that she used to write in pink pen a lot. She was always very girly, for lack of a better term. But she was also quite fragile. I never knew if I liked this aspect of her or not, though with the arrival of this letter that question seems to have become largely moot. The letter begins with a not much more than an update on the state of things going on in her life. My old class had a good start to the school year. Many are anxious about the exams that will be coming up in the future, etc. but it ends on a very personal, if brief note. It feels a bit like she wrote most of the letter just to try and soften the blow from the ending. I wanted to somehow express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. I couldn't say anything to comfort you. I am really sorry for not being able to support you when it mattered the most. Even though I like you so much, at least now finally I can be more honest. If I could go back to those quiet days in February and March, I'd tell you to not give up on yourself. That's what I would say. Maybe you wouldn't have drifted so far away if I had just said something. I hope you've managed to get back on your feet on your own. Now that the distance between us is also physical, it also feels more final somehow. I wonder if we will meet again. Perhaps it is for the best if we don't. Still, if you would like to correspond with me, by all means, write me back. I'd very much like to hear about your new school and how you were doing. I wish you all the best. Sincerely, Iwanako. And so that's that. Our relationship is over. Nice, neat, and tidy, with no ambiguity. I hadn't held on to any illusions that it could ever begin anew. The last time she visited me, neither of us said a thing except for the one word she said as she left for the last time. Goodbye. Be that as it may, this feels more final. The capstone on an experiment that both of us tried and failed at. And one of us extra failed at it. We failed at it so hard that we had a heart attack. I'm not gonna name names, but I think we all know who it is. A loud shout draws my eyes away from the letter. It's just some students horsing around with one of the teachers standing nearby coming over to talk to us. Is it, that white girl? Mikano? Tan girl? I think her name was Mikano. Are you okay? Oh, it's Yuko. A tentative voice comes from my side for a moment. I assume it to be Hanako, but it's actually Yuko. Oh, hello Yuko. I thought you'd be in the library. She gives a cheerful smile, one quite fitting of the atmosphere, and flourishes the empty wrapper of a roll in her hand. She must have someone else covering for her while she grabs something to eat. It reminds me that I haven't had anything to eat yet. I don't feel hungry though, and skipping one lunch won't hurt.
Mind if I sit here?
Sure, go ahead. I quickly slide the letter back into its envelope, slipping it inside my bag propped against the side of the bench as Yuko takes a seat. She drops the wrapper into a bin beside us. Without much else to do, I lean back and take what enjoyment I can from the sun, silently reflecting on the letter. The lush lawns, the clear blue skies, everything looks so different from the way it did back then. Even the school's surroundings, from the hill it's on to the woods around it, are completely opposite to the urban scenery I remember. Maybe this is what it feels like to feel homesick. Then again, it's not an outright bad sensation. The feel of the area around Yamaku, while very different, is also nice. I think I could get used to it.
Hey, Hisao.
Yeah?
You didn't answer my question from before. I wasn't going to say anything, but you still look troubled. If you don't want to say anything though, that's okay. I don't mind at all. Sorry for asking something strange like that.
What did she ask? I don't mind. It's just, I got a letter from someone I knew before I came to Yamaku. It made me think about some things. I thought I'd managed to get over most of the problems that my incident caused, but now I'm not really so sure. I kinda wish I'd never seen it.
I don't think that's good, Hisao. When my boyfriend left me, he did so very suddenly and never let me know why. At first I was very depressed about it, but I decided to forgive him.
You forgave him? Couldn't he at least have talked properly with you about it?
He was always one of those people that found it difficult to come close to others. In the end, I decided I fell in love with him for a reason. He was a good person, and I think that if I had been in his position, I would probably have found it just as hard to try to talk to him.
I don't really see the connection to the letter I got.
I mean that, how should I put this? It must have been very hard for that person to send that letter, and if they did, I think they must have thought very hard about exactly what to say.
Iwanako managed to write this letter and bring a final close to our relationship, something that I'd never managed to do. Whereas here I am trying to protect and help Hanako as best I can, especially with Lily leaving for a while, and I'm not even able to deal with my own problems. Yeah, Hisao, you deal with the plank in your eye before worrying about the splinter in someone else's. You fool. Does that make sense? She's taken my non-response and furrowed brow as doubt. She really reads faces too much, just like a certain other person. Yeah, that makes sense. The letter was just kind of a shock, really. I think I'd try to fool myself into thinking that my life reset when I came into Yamaku. But now I'm suddenly aware that it didn't. I'm at a bit of a loss about how to deal with these feelings. I think that's something I can't really help you with. Sorry. It's fine. I think being able to talk with you helped me get things sorted out a bit better in my head, so thank you anyway. She nods and smiles sweetly. Yuko is a nice girl, so it's a shame that she is so highly strung so often. She had a heart attack! Well, that might have been inappropriate. I just meant she got scared. People in this game actually do have heart attacks when crazy things happen, so that might be a little insensitive to these characters. The bell ringing out startles us both. Ah! I was supposed to be back before the bell. Oops. She jumps off the bench and almost races off without a second word, but turns on her heel as she remembers she was talking to me just now. I'll see you later, Hisao. Cheer up, okay? I'll try to. Thanks, Yuko. With a quick bow, Yuko takes her leave and begins her rush to the library. Her flight catches the curious eyes of a few passing students who are unenthusiastically trudging back to their classes after their fun. Oh, I need to stop recording these so late. Reluctantly standing from the bench, I dust myself off and join them. Even while I walk through the gardens back to the main building, the thought of the letter in my bag doesn't stray far from my mind. I love that little dancy noise. Whoa. Where am I? Why am I on the streets? I didn't even wake up. I know this one is a little short, but it's almost at 20 minutes. So I'm actually gonna leave it off here instead of doing I feel like this one's gonna be like 40 minutes long or something. So I'm gonna leave this one off here, and I will see you guys in the next video.